today the government is asking the Office of National Statistics to devise a new way of measuring well-being in Britain. And so from April next year, we'll start measuring our progress as a country, not just by how our economy is growing, but by how our lives are improving. Not just by our standard of living, but by our quality of life. At a time when we're recovering from the longest and deepest recession since the war, they say that all our energies should be just focused on driving up GDP. Now let me be very, very clear. Growth is the essential foundation of all our aspirations. Without a job that pays a decent wage, it is hard for people to look after their families in the way that they want, whether that's taking the children on holiday or making your home a more comfortable place. Without money in your pocket, it is difficult to do so many of the things that we enjoy, from going out in the evening to shopping at the weekend. So at this time, I'm absolutely clear that our most urgent priority is to get the economy moving, to create jobs, to spread opportunity for everyone. That is why we're clearing up the mess that we have been left, because if we let our debts spiral out of control, interest rates would go up, mortgage rates would rise, and people would be hurt. I'm going to give you 3 examples where I really do believe there is a link between what politics and government does and people's happiness, contentedness, and quality of life. One is, I do believe, if you give people more control over their life, if they feel they have more of a say, they're authors of their own destiny, that actually increases people's self-worth and well-being. Now that has a real effect on, for instance, education policy or health policy. We should be trying to give more power to the patient and the parent to have choice over how they're treated, where their kids go to school, and the rest of it. So that has a real-life effect. A second one was mentioned, Rob mentioned relationships. It's absolutely right that people's well-being often depends on the quality of their relationships. So we should ask as a country, why do we spend billions and billions on the consequences of family breakdown, but so little on trying to help families stay together? You know, £20 million on the budget of Relate, but £20 billion on the consequences of social breakdown. So again, if we think about well-being rather than just GDP, we might actually change that. Another one is planning policy. People definitely, the way your happiness, contentedness, well-being does partly depend on your surroundings, and your surroundings depend on planning policy and depend on how much you're involved and how much you think you have a say over your neighbourhood and what it looks like. So therefore, I would say give people more power over their planning policy and neighbourhood, and they will be more contented. Now, those are 3 things where actually government policy, I believe, needs to change and is changing, and those 3 things are as much about well-being as they are about economic growth.